Well, hello, and welcome to class. As you can see, it's week 8, and we're winding up management and leadership approaches. Thus, I thought the theme from Rocky was appropriate, so you can all start to feel like you're celebrating the end of your training. So, moving right along, we're going to be looking at the discussion for the week and also the paper. The discussion this week is an evaluation on your part as to what you liked and didn't like about the course, what you thought was beneficial about both the content and the manner in which the course was taught, and also some suggestions or comments about how you think the course could be modified that would make it more effective. As you may know, we're kind of in the process of overhauling some of the classes to make them work a little bit better, and this one has been changed substantially since the last time I taught it, and I would like to know what worked and what didn't work, so as we continue to try to make improvements, that we're using the student feedback as one of the pieces that we look at to determine whether we're on the right course or not. But in addition to just your what you felt was beneficial or not, I'd like you to choose 3 of the articles that you read during the course, and whether these were ones that were assigned to you or whether these were ones you found on your own as you were doing research for your discussion post or your paper. I'd like you to note 3 articles, and you can use your APA format. And what I'm going to do is, of course, review those and then look to see whether they might be useful additions to the next version of the class, so that if you found something particularly useful or interesting in terms of the topics that we were talking about, then students next time around would have that on their required reading list. The paper for this week is in the same lines as the discussion. I'm interested in hearing a little bit more about what you thought your takeaways from this class were, and really I'm not interested in hearing the theories described. I don't really need to hear about the classical theories or the human relations theories. We all are fairly familiar with what those entail. What I'd like you to do is step back from a bigger perspective, and just in terms of the overall concept of management, and through the readings and the discussions and the papers that you've written, what your takeaways are as you move forward into your next classes, how you see this class has changed your thinking and broadened your perspective and given you new avenues to investigate when you start looking at other classes. And especially for those of you going into the leadership classes, you'll find that management, of course, blends not seamlessly but very closely with leadership, and we can look at leadership through the lens of management, or we can look at management through the lens of leadership, but it's hard, especially in an organizational setting, to avoid linking them together at some level. So again, the objective isn't to describe the theories, what you consider to be the most important theories, but really how learning more about the theories and reading more about the literature, how they've shaped your thinking about the general topic of management. The keys to success for week 8. I'd like you to go back and look over your discussions and your papers. I'd like you to review the articles that you've read, and then consider both the content and the method of the class as you're talking about things you think were good about the class and things you thought maybe could be changed. In addition to simply pointing things out, try to explain why you thought something was useful, or why you thought something was a waste of time. So, as you move forward with your classes, remember that learning is a continuous process. What you don't know now, hopefully you'll learn in the next class, or the next class, or the next class, and that by the time you finish your DBA degree, you'll have learned everything you need to know to be able to write your perfect dissertation and also be employed in a job that will make use of your DBA. So, of course, there are gaps in your knowledge right now, and there are gaps in your skills, but we've probably significantly improved your abilities and your skills during the course of the past 8 weeks. So, until next time, I'd like you to leave you with Wally's words of wisdom on leadership and management. Wally says, "Did you get the link I sent you about the 10 things all leaders need to do?" I also sent you an article about 9 habits of successful people. Then I sent you an article about time management, tricks used by successful people. According to my research, there are 17,429 tricks you need to master to be a good leader. Now that may seem like a lot, but if you master 10 per year, you'll be 1.2% competent by the time you retire. At this point, the boss has had enough. He breaks his pencil and says, "Why are we having this conversation?" Wally says, "Well, I think I'm going to add listening skills to the list." All right, well, I'm ready to listen to your comments, so send them in to me. And until I see you next time in a future class, goodbye and good luck.